Okay, Rose, like before I started recording and we went over the stance, we can clean up just a bit by, kind of keeping your hip pockets up higher. That flattens out your back. You and I will never get rid of the upper back thing too much over the desk, too much time at the desk, but we can straighten that up a bit. Grip looks pretty good, not causing any great trauma, and I explained the plane lines. Let's draw some more lines so we can watch what's happening here. Here's the backboard. Here's the hand path. And just to measure any head movement. Okay. So, takeaway's pretty good. That's position one. There's like eight positions. Number 2 is here. See, the club head it's a blur,
right,
but it's basically right here, and the shaft is coming this way. Off swing plane totally. Look where his is.
Yeah.
Okay, so see how the head of the club overlaps his hands from behind?
Mm-hmm.
See how the toe of the club is up? Okay.
Is the toe supposed to be up?
Yeah. You have it semi-shut, but the thing that's caused me most problems is this breaking plane drastically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we do is we capture this picture for you.
Great.
And then I'll email you this picture, and what you do is, the first lesson basically is getting in the mirror. You print out the photo, this photo,
mm-hmm.
and you tape it to the mirror, and you do the takeaway, and so you look more like him. So you have the mirror behind you, and you just take it to here. Oh yeah, that's right. And then from here you can just do a nose swing as opposed to here. So that's the first.
Do that again, please.
So when you look in the mirror, you'll see the club is overlapping my hands.
Right.
The shaft of the club is parallel to my toe line. It actually is on it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how
I am.
you are.
Okay.
Now, the problem with getting it sucked back inside like this is you're going to take it to the top, and it'll be too steep down, and then you lift and flip. If it's like this, you just rotate here, and then you rotate that back, all on plane. Watch this. So here, there's up and down. See how that's all on plane? Yours is off plane here, it's on plane here, then it's too steep down and lift and flip.
I've always done that, haven't I?
Yeah, but we're explaining why, and it's because the first step is cooking you. Okay, so still recording it. Now we go to the second step. Okay, see the shaft, this is out of whack here. Now look, it's now parallel to the yellow lines, which means it's on plane. And this is why you want that T in the butt of the club. That should be pointed just above the ball, but all you have to do is look at the T and see where it's pointed. We'll go over after I stop recording why that little T is your lifeline. Okay.
But how do I get on plane?
Well, I'll show you. But let's go through. Now you see, coming this direction, it's hard to stop it when it's right on plane. So what happens is we get off plane again. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then what we'll do is look at the difference here. Okay. So, this is the next step. Let's see. Okay. So here's the next step. Your shaft is pointed out here. It's like way off a plane, and most of it is caused by this flying elbow. But see how the butt of the club is pointed behind you. Look at this guy.
Yeah. It's down.
Yeah. So if you look at this angle, that looks to be about 40 degrees. His angle of that forearm is like 10. Okay. So watch what happens when you have. You're in here. You got this flying elbow. Look, when I take that elbow down and it gets close to the other one, what happens with the shaft? It shallows it out, puts it on its plane. So that elbow is driving this top. So let me make a copy of this picture.
Yeah, I've always, those are my problems. I can keep my head down. I have a good grip.
Okay, so now we'll show you why this is great, because the left hip went back. This isn't quite as good. Yours started on that green cross. It's now here. Whoops. So it's moved 6 inches.
So that the face never moves.
The head is still, yeah, and I'll show you how to do that. So there's extra commotion going on, So the idea is that head stays pretty still. It doesn't stay down; it stays still. So it's still and you rotate through. So we'll get back to that. Let's go through the rest. Okay, now here's the problem with being across the line. Is see when you start this thing down, and this is shoulder height. And this is what's called too steep. Now look, when he starts down, gets his shoulder height. See, it's all on plane. Now this is what happens.
He's a professional.
This is what happens is when it's too steep is if you don't do anything like jump out of the way, you're gonna stick a fork in the ground right behind the ball. Okay. So then that promotes this lift and flip thing, trying to save it. And we'll show you what's going on. And probably, so it's steep, and from steep, you probably see the blur outside the hands. No, actually, this is really good, though. Okay, so you make this huge adjustment. So see how steep this thing is? Now look, this indicates pretty good athleticism. You go from the red line. See where the shaft is now? It's on the green line, which is close to being parallel to the yellow. But here's the problem. You have to go in the middle of the swing. When you're trying to pick up speed, you have to go from the red line to the green line. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. So when you come like this, I haven't seen anybody with a 30 handicap that's been able to lay it down from here to here right on plane. If you don't lay it down enough, you'll hit it left. If you lay it down too much, you'll hit it right. So that correction is hard to make the same each time. So this,
How do I make it though?
Okay, I'll show you. Okay, so then when you come through, you're just trying to save it with your hands. The good thing is, So you've got kind of a lift here. But see, this is a good thing. See, you're coming up on your toe, you're rotating your hip out of the way, and this is a good part. Even though there's a mess coming down like this and you're trying to save it, you've got this action going, and that's what beginners 30, 25 handicaps don't. You have that. The thing is, you're coming in such a weak area, you can't really take advantage of it. You kind of stave out here, but see how that hip rotates?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's some weird things there, but at least you're turning through. Okay, so let's see quickly. Let's look at the other angle. There should be no surprises, but let's just show you what it looks like. See, there's a sway. Yeah, it's a pretty good setup. Okay. So you got that right hip swaying a bit. It shouldn't.
It should stay straight.
Yeah. So this is the action of the hip. So you're like this, and then when you go back, it should go like this. When you sway out here, now you got to sway back the same amount. It's unneeded movement, and it's hard to sway back the same way. It sets up, a chance of topping topping or hitting fat if you don't sway back. Okay, so this top position is actually pretty good. See that good shoulder rotation? I mean, the shoulder, that's really good. This is caved in exactly right. See, that's where it started. So that's really good. It's freeing up your hips to turn, but you get kind of a slide, then a turn. Okay, so this is pretty good position, with the exception of that little slide. Then when you come down, see, this is an athletic movement. See that right knee coming off there?
Mm-hmm.
30 handicaps don't have that. 25 handicaps don't have that. That's really good, Rose. But it's wasted because we're coming down too steep.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, once we get the takeaway and the transition, you've got this action. You're releasing the right side. That's really good. There's a weight shift. You end up here. So that part really looks good.